Shalom. I'm giving everyone a chance to get in here. Wise Salah speaking. All praises to the horizon. As I said, I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. I want to do this deep video explaining how God became a lamb and why the word dog spells God backwards. So this is questions that those on path of wisdom should have gotten at one point or another. Peace and wisdom, Joshua Hall. Subscribe to the channel if you're not you, but to the viewers, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Click the notification bell so you don't miss the live. Of course, if you miss the live, the only way you'll be able to play it back is if you're a member. So either or. Thank you, Unknown Concept, for the give and receive. Put a little 100. Daddy. But thank you anyhow. Now let me fix the crown. Get my life together. Now, as I said, I want to do this deep video explaining how God became a lamb and why dog spells God backwards. Now, like I said in the post I put up, if anyone has the answer to why God or dog spells God backwards. Thank you, baby. All I had to do was ask for more. That's how it works with y'all. Thank you, brother. I'ma tell y'all like I'ma just tell y'all like this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are confusing. I don't get it. For those of y'all that's lost, brother gave me $1.99 years back. I said, thank you, baby. You could have gave me 100. You could have gave me 50. That's all I had to do. I've been doing that all this time. So again, y'all strange, but I appreciate y'all watching me. I know y'all only watch me for y'all own. I know y'all only tune in here for y'all own selfish self. Fuck you, Silas. I just get to the video, nigga. This is what half y'all doing right now. Shut the fuck up, Silas. Get going. I'm on my lunch, you weirdo. And so I understand. I used to be you in a time. You come all in the place, Bogarden. Think I run shit. All up in the Hebrew Israelite camp talking about me in the cracker. So I'm like, y'all, I get it. This is why I'm patient with y'all. Man finds himself, then he loses himself. And he spends his life trying to find himself again. Only to realize, like, you big. You can't lose yourself. You can just only get dumb. Be wise. Let me give y'all a jewel before I start this deep video. This video is going to be very deep. But here's a jewel. Someone asked me, is silence the key to wisdom? Here's the answer. To the unlearned mind, let's say someone on the beginnings of their path of wisdom, so they may say silence is the keys to wisdom. I may have heard wise people say this. When you reach a pinnacle of wisdom, you'll realize It's not silence that's the keys to wisdom. It's a silent mind that's the key to wisdom. But to the unlearned mind, you get my point? Silent mind, no speech, the two becomes confused. So if you ever heard like silence is the key to wisdom, it's not speaking of the mouth, it's speaking of the mind, silent mind, meaning the mind isn't bombarded with thought. The mind is clear. You get my point? Now silence, meaning silence of the mouth, that just leads to a crowded mind. Crowded mind is the beginnings of one being full of speech. So this is why most of you guys can't hear. When you have conversation with people, you don't hear nothing because you got bottled up. It don't even have to do with them maybe, but you just got a bunch of stuff bottled up. You're not a speaker, meaning you don't wake up every day and have a speaking job. So with that, you get my point? Meaning most of y'all are silent. Wherever you work at, if you're not working with the public, even if you are, so you be like, hello, can I help you? But you're not being able to express yourself. So I'm trying to make that point. Silence isn't going to help you. It's just going to make your mind full. And if you don't push out what's in your mind, and you get my point, it's going to collapse into your emotional state. And so silence isn't the keys to wisdom. The keys is getting the mind to be silent. You get my point? And when I say the mind being silent, I'm speaking no thought. You don't have to have thought. You already have experience. And so once the mind is clear and the emotional state is clear, whatever you're observing or whatever you're dealing with is in truth. You get it? This is what alters our perspective, our emotional state. Our perspective, which is our thoughts. We want things to be how we want them to be. Man kind of know everything before you do. Y'all know people before y'all get to know them. You 20-something years old, you wise, and you know nothing. So you get my point? Silent mind, this is the keys to wisdom. Now the problem with most of you guys is this. Y'all get on paths of wisdom. Y'all hear wise philosophy, like Socrates' philosophy, where he says like something like a wise man knows that he knows nothing. Y'all hear these different philosophies, y'all truly don't understand what y'all hear. And so y'all use it for your lower state. Meaning when y'all hear the Socrates phrase, wise man truly knows that he knows nothing, y'all use it to cater to y'all not knowing anything yet. Y'all don't look at it from a perspective of, if I am a wise man who knows all things, what is he saying? Because that's who the message is for, the wise. Say, a wise man knows he truly knows nothing. So he's speaking to wise people. That part. Now I told you guys that's the stupidest thing that you could think. Why would a wise man tell you a wise man don't know nothing truly? It's not what's being said. What's being said is this. Once a man reaches the pinnacles of his wisdom, he realizes that he himself knows nothing. It's a glory, a gift. It's not by his own doing. In that, he knows nothing, but so he is an instrument for whatever decided to scoop him up. You get it? Put him under here. And so that's what's meant. But you have to be wise to get to that place. Meaning I have to get wiser to get to a place to say that phrase is stupid. It don't even make sense. I do know things. To become wiser, to grasp, okay, it's basically saying what I've already come to know on my own. Meaning if y'all reached the pinnacles of y'all wisdom, y'all would have came to the same thought. I don't control this thing. Meaning how wise I've become. It was a happening. So Is that clear? You know I'm the wisest person on the planet, so I'm just telling you. If you feel like you're not the wisest person on the planet, so you have to step up and prove your point that, you're wiser. If you say it's not me that's wiser, I'm just saying you ain't the wisest, well then we talking about your perspective and that don't matter. Perspectives don't matter. It's not my perspective that I'm the wisest. You get it? Most of y'all gonna say, yes it is. It's not. Every teacher y'all know of me too. But they know better. That's how I know. That's not ego. If I say I challenge everybody and y'all all get nervous, and I already know y'all know my wisdom, I have to play with myself and say like, I must be the wisest. I've never seen people get this scared before. Meaning I'm learning with y'all, but I'm just speaking from the truth of the matter. You get it? When I say I'm the wisest, if you remove your emotions, then you know what I mean. Like in regards to the wise people, they're scared to death of me. They don't have to be. The only thing that can happen is you're not wiser than me. You get my point? What does that matter? That part. Think about none of that. And so, I'm the wisest person to ever breathe in. I'm saying that so if you need any assistance on wisdom, you know where to come. Now, if you're young, meaning if you're a young man, I'm going to give you a little juice, and if you're a young woman, I'm going to give you a little juice, and I'm going to get to this video before too much time passes. Now, if you're a young woman, your mind is your worth. You can't never forget that, because the world gonna make you sell yourself instead of your mind. Now I'm gonna use Cardi B as an example because I like her. I forget to say that sometimes when I use y'all as examples. Now we all like Cardi B because she real. When I say real, she speak from the heart. If the wrong thing she said, then I'm like that. I just say whatever I gotta say. We get to all that other stuff later, like whatever I said wrong, whatever. She real. She got a good mind on her shoulders. You get my point? Now, of course, she was stripping. And that's how they presented her. When I was growing up, they wouldn't have did that. Whatever you was doing in your life was what you was doing in your life. But now when the record company and all that come in, they will make you bigger than life. So if you was a drug addict, a stripper, whatever it was, that won't get mentioned unless you slip up. But they made that her selling point. And that was done on purpose. And I'm sure if she had the choice, she would have been like, why we gotta bring that up? Why can't I just be a dope rapper? You feel me? Like, why we gotta start there? And you know they gonna hit you with the bullshit. We gotta have a story and all that. But the point I'm making is, in the daytimes, they forcing y'all to be hoes, and y'all have to be aware of that. Get it? Cardi B was a stripper or whatever she was, and then she wanted to be a rapper. And then they made that her selling point that she is stripper. And so now all the young girls that want to be rappers, you get my point? It's a stripping thing. Y'all are changing y'all perspective because y'all say, man, this is probably my better shot to get on. If I come on some old school Queen Latifah shit, I ain't gonna get no bump. And some of y'all are good women, meaning you really do got that mind where you like, this, I don't really do this shit. But you like, ain't no way I can compete if I don't. They not gonna let me kind of like come on some real educated shit with my glasses on, getting busy. And so then y'all succumb to like the lower things, where you have to sell yourselves like y'all prostitutes. Then that become the style. You get my point? It happened to men, just in the other way. They make everybody a gangster for us in rap. In that, got young boys online, they watching this, they say I want to be a rapper, and in their mind they say I have to be a gangster. If you a young boy right now, you want to be a rapper and you ain't never did nothing gangster, is that not your perspective though? Say if I come out with regular rhymes, you gonna pop? Or do you have to be like Pop Smoke and cap until you die? And so they putting us in these strange predicaments, and we really the ones with the control. Because y'all can just be like, look, we not doing that no more. They're not gonna be presenting us to our own in the worst conditions. You get my point? Cardi B don't live none of that strip shit no more. From the moment she was doing her rap shit, that was out the window. That part. And promote the prostitute shit is same with Lil' Kim. The game made her squat with her pussy all open. That wasn't her own idea. When she like, I'm gonna bust my pussy open. It just happens like that. And then you get my point? Whole generation of women, they adopt, you know, Mom said this is why y'all all running around plastic body parts, having health conditions because of it, and men don't even care. You gotta remember, before plastic surgery, what you think men was doing? Ignoring chicks? No. Why y'all ain't got no man now? Your chicks running around with no plastic surgery, no help. They barely got makeup. They got husbands and all this shit. Y'all all perfect and ain't got nothing. How'd it happen? That part. Extremes ain't the way. All is in the balance. And so if you a woman, you kind of take notice of these things. Meaning if you somebody that do got a good head on your shoulder, you might want to make it your business to push that out there to everybody you encounter, because most men think all women is whores now. This is why, and that ain't the reality of it, that's just what's being promoted. Meaning your everyday average chick, she ain't no whore, she trying to make it, you feel me? And she needs somebody, but you get my point? Even in her mind, she like, shit, my life ain't patent like no hoe, so I ain't getting no nigga. I got these couple of babies and shit, I'm trying to handle everything together, but that don't fit into the whole train, so ain't no nigga trying to, you feel me? I gotta have a babysitter and shit. And most niggas will have you, like, shit, you perfect. I'll drop on by with some groceries. You can cook, I'll play with your fucking kids. And then we can Netflix it. Men are simple. They play with the hoes and shit, but that's not what they want. That's just what's promoted, because that's what y'all buy. Like, y'all buying Shaft, the nigga with all the hoes. Y'all not buying the nigga that, you know, go to work every day and take care of fucking family and live regular. Y'all don't say that ain't for sale. Y'all don't want that. But that's what it is. You get my point? You have to mature to a place where you realize that society pumping whatever dumb shit they pumping. And whatever society pumping, it's just a ploy to get society to fit. It ain't even a reality. You get it? It ain't a reality that all chicks is whores and all niggas in today is broke down, bum, stupid niggas. But that's what's being promoted so that can catch on. You get it? It's kind of like speak it into existence thing first. So that's how society works. And then y'all play into it and it becomes a reality. So if y'all don't stop it, there's gonna be like a bunch of hoes and a bunch of ain't shit niggas who, if they get rich or whatever the case may happen, it wouldn't matter because they gonna go to jail or fuck it all up. You get it? And all the people y'all honor and love, and this ain't no jab at them, they fuck ups. You get it? And that's the reality of it, man. Suge Knight was like a $500 million, and he in jail. And you got Casanova and a whole bunch of other people that y'all look up to as, nah, they do their thing, they solid. Y'all almost got a thing where y'all think failure is solid. Same with Big Meech and BMF. There's no jab to nobody. Hopefully everybody taking the truth. You don't make $250 million and end up in jail. That kind of money, you could work with politicians and all. You got to be a fuck up to end up like that. I'll say it again. How you can't twerk 250,000, 250 million to buy your freedom, where you don't have to have these worries no more. You telling me $250 million? Y'all couldn't figure out how to go legit with that? Shit, 50 million, you can't? 1 million. Some of y'all like, shit, give me 100,000, I'll make that work. I won't have to break the law again. And so you get it? If you look at it from them standards, these is failures. How you get that kind of money and end up in that condition? Now, life is life. I can't say what's what, but I'm just giving you a perspective. That's all the people we look up to. Meaning we don't look up to motherfuckers that... Y'all don't know the niggas that made it and made it. Like, you made it and made it. I'm just like... We gotta become aware as people. That's all I can tell you. Peace and wisdom, Rasquan, Shabaka, and everybody else. Joshua Northern said, I admit you are as real as they come. Peace and wisdom. Salam, shalom. Gotta work your way to being real. Being real is hard. And you being real, so you ain't necessarily gonna always be saying what niggas wanna hear. You ain't necessarily going with the flow of what niggas want you to go with. You being true to yourself. You get my point? And this ain't about going against people. This is about that. Being true to yourself. So like I said, you gotta earn that. Everybody can't be real. Some of y'all try to be real, somebody might put hands on you. Because you've been letting them rule over you that long. Where they gonna get mad if you have your own brand. And so you gotta make that your first goal. How can I start turning the tables of this thing to where person don't think they got all this control over me? Now, let me get the men of Jewel, the young men, 30 and under. If you older, you can use it as well. Don't focus on like cars and jewelry and all that. That's not a life. So you want to focus on an income, a steady income. Again, a car and big chains ain't a life. That's going to get you all the sack chases. Meaning you're not going to get no wife like that. You're going to get a life that's going to beat you down when you're done with it. Some of y'all like, I don't care, I want that. Cool. Well, before you get to that, get you a steady income first. So if you young, let that be the first thing on your list. I gotta get me steady income coming in. Now you might be the type who say, I don't want to work no job. I ain't in the position where I can. I got felonies and all of this. Gotta start to use your brain. Think outside the box. So, here's an example. Let's say you live in a crowded city of New York or something. So the grocery stores don't do like deliveries. And so go make some cards. You put them in the people's doors in your hood. Man, I do deliveries to the grocery store. You know, late night, you might want your little 40 or something. You know, like, I do not feel like going. I'll go for you. Just call me. I'll shoot right on over there. Shit, you need groceries from the supermarket? I got you. You get it? There's a bunch of stores in your neighborhood that don't deliver. That go get cards put up. Put posters in these stores and tell them, man, like, y'all ain't gotta pay me or do nothing. I'm just letting the people in the store know. When you go home, you might be too lazy to come here. I'll come for you. Just hit me up. You get my point? Somebody send you to the supermarket so they give you $15 for that run. You do 10 a day, that's $150 every day. You making more than you would have made at work, meaning at a job. That part. You got everything on plan. I gotta go to the supermarket for Miss Ann next week at this time. You get to a place where you can buy yourself a car to make these deliveries, buy a couple more cars, put other people on, expand outside the little area you in. This is how businesses start. You get my point? You gotta think outside the box what people need. And it's this like lane open. Yeah, you got delivery services like Uber and all that, but Uber don't do everything. Meaning Uber don't go to the little corner store right there on your block. You want Dutchess. You get like that. You like it's 1 in the morning. I need some Dutchess, but I don't know. What you gonna call Uber Eats for Dutch and afford it? You get it? Some soap. You about to hop in the shower, you forgot soap. You say shit, I ain't got no tissue either. Uber gonna that part. And so you get my point? Think outside the box. If you young, like I said, make some calls, make it professional. You don't want to be like sloppy and shit where people like, is this stupid nigga gonna come back with my money? Be professional. How you doing? You know, times is hard. You know me, I'm a little hood. Well, I'm not hood, but I got my own shit going, so I ain't got to do all that extra stuff no more. But you do, so how you doing? It's rough out here. I'm trying to start my own business and be a little more stable. I mean, you gotta have a selling point. Listen, man, I got to start somewhere, so I'm trying to start my own little business. I got these cars made up. If you need a store, run hit me up. I'm going. It don't matter what time it is. I'm working around the clock, and I got to make it. Most people might just shop with you just because they like your presentation. They say, yeah, I feel you on that, big baby. I don't need nothing from the store, but here's $20. Peace and wisdom, brother. You gotta start presenting yourselves. Y'all got more pride than income. That ain't never good. I'm gonna say that again if you young. You can't have more pride than income. You don't wanna have pride, period. You wanna have big income and no pride. That way you still asking, what's up, what y'all got going on over here, big baby? But as you get income, so you're gonna get a little proud. But you don't wanna have more pride than income. Some of y'all ain't got no goddamn steady income coming in and you got a lot of pride. That ain't gonna help, they ain't gonna serve you. So take these jewels, apply it to self. When I was growing up, we was 7 years old packing bags. It wasn't about pride, it was about people respecting that you're willing to put your work in. So most of us got our respect at 7. He gonna be something, man. You see he in there packing them bags and shit, you feel me? And he carrying niggas' bags home. And summer youth time come, we 14, we working. You get it? In that, you earning your bones as you go along. Where you like, I know I got to put my time in and I'm starting. Thank you, Keita Man, for the give back. Joshua Northern, peace and wisdom. Thanks for joining the channel. Phil Chavez said, Lorraine Chavez, be healed of memory loss, hearing loss, all health problems, be restored with perfect health in Jesus' name. Lorraine Chavez. Of possession and finances be restored in Jesus' name. Salam shalom. This is not the Jesus channel. Jesus is not God. And according to the religion that you're supposed to follow, even in the religion, Jesus ain't God. And so your average modern day Christian is just lost. A babbling fool almost. And so you start there. If you want someone to get good grace, you have to know what you're talking about. Jesus could be the devil, you wouldn't know. Now, of course, you're lost in society, so you say, no, Jesus ain't the devil. Well, Jesus is the Son of God. The Nephilim, the fallen angels, are also referred to as the Son of God, the sons of God. So is Jesus one of the fallen angels? Like what? Now, you don't know the answer, and that's okay, but I'm just making a point. Follow things and you don't know what you follow. You're just speaking programming out the mouth. You're not speaking from an understanding. You're speaking from a programming. And so, like I said, whoever you speaking for, you can say whatever you want. I've heard people call out Jesus' name and get a blessing. Millions don't. That part. So if you want things to work for you right, you have to be right in the way. Being a part of Babylon minded, this is a lost society. He ain't gonna get it for you. And so you'd have been better off asking me, to put a prayer in for your loved one than carrying on about how you do. That ain't how that go. You just putting people business in chats and strange things. That ain't. It's not honorable. You get my point? So hopefully you don't take offense to what I'm saying. I suppose Lorraine Chavez, your wife or mama or somebody with your last name. So hopefully you grasp what I'm saying. Now, like I said, according to your religion, Jesus ain't God. Y'all just made that up. Jesus always presented himself as the Son of God. He say he like you. The only way to the Father is through him. But he never said he was God in the book. Y'all keep saying that. So you get my point? You already starting off wrong. You worshiping something that ain't God that told you they wasn't God. So if you worship Jesus as your God, well, just remember he told you he's, according to the text in his own red letters, he said he wasn't God. So you're lost. If I tell you I ain't God and you like no Solace is God, well, whatever you pumping's your own thing. It ain't got nothing to do with what I said. And so your modern day Christian, they don't know nothing about the book that go with the religion. Meaning if you a Christian, take note of that. You don't think that's strange that none of y'all know the book? Meaning no Christian in modern day or of old, I ain't gonna say of old, but of modern day, y'all read the book. You could line up 1,000,000 Christians, maybe only 25 of them read through the book, the whole thing. Some of y'all 50. It don't take 50 years to read the Bible. It's not that long. You can read the Bible in a week. I did. With the dictionary, meaning I wasn't reading straight through. I was reading the same things over and over till I grasped. That's how you get understanding. You gotta ask for it, but not with your mouth. Like, can I get understanding? The effort. I'm reading it with a dictionary because I don't know the words in there. Isn't he back in like 22, 23? I don't know some of the words. It's written weird. So I read it with a dictionary. That helped me, I ain't gonna lie. It took longer, but it made certain things a little clearer if you kind of know what the word means. But the point I'm making is the Bible is the book for Christians, yet 95, 96% of Christians never read through the book. They just carry the book around, exploiting the book. I'm making a point. You got a Christian, which is the religion. This is the people. And they exploit the book and read and carry the book with them and use it to uphold their religion, but they don't fuck with the book because they don't read it. They will read from it, but I mean actually read it. Speaking in truth, like I read all of it. 95% of them, they ain't even attempt to. They just a Christian, because they a Christian, it already started when they was a kid. See, if you could be a Christian as a kid and you never got to read the book, you just that because of your parents by default, then that can carry over and you wouldn't know. Say, I'm already a Christian, what do I need to read the book for? And that makes sense. But it don't if you take into account, the book is supposed to be religion, not the group of people sitting around, you get my point? Saying this thing or that thing. And it's the same with Jews. Somebody who followed Judaism. A Jewish person. The book of their religion is the Torah, but they always got the Bible with them. You notice that? Their book is the Torah. They don't have those. They have the Bible. Exploiting a book that they don't really read. And so it's the same with a Jehovah's Witness. They come with the Bible, then they slip you the Watchtower, not the Bible. If you ask them, hey, I was reading through Leviticus, big baby, they gonna have to go through, they ain't never read Leviticus. If you ask them something they don't know, let me look. They know that Watchtower without that magazine. They know that. And so I'm giving you Jews to see. You have this book called the Bible. It's exploited by many different religious groups, but none of these religious groups actually pull from the text of it. And so now when I explain things from the text, I'll say, no, that ain't how it go. But you're a liar because you never even read the book. Meaning if you a Christian and you feel in your heart, Solid's bugging. You don't know what you're talking about. That's how deep of a liar you are within. You completely forgot you never picked up the book. How can someone who never picked up the book say someone who is a scholar in it don't know what they're talking about? You never even read through the book. 95% of y'all Christians are guilty of that. You said to yourself at one point in time, man, Silas don't know what he's talking about. But you didn't even read the book. That part, you a liar within yourself. A liar when you completely forget that you lying right out your teeth. And so many are guilty of that, meaning Christianity got to do with Satan worship. It's a sacrilege. Only thing y'all care about is that Jesus gonna die for y'all and y'all gonna take a bath in his blood. You're gonna rejoice in the blood of the Lamb. And that's the only part you care about. The death part. And so I'll say again, it's an ancient voodoo practice. It don't got nothing to do with whatever y'all talking about. And so let's get into this video. How God became a lamb. Now, see if I missed any questions before I start. Joshua North said, I'm 45 and I have to admit that you have wisdom beyond your years. Trust me, this is not deriding. Salam, shalom, I appreciate that. I know the difference between dick riding and, solid people, just being solid. I respect your mind, goddamn. Mine ain't like that. I just deck niggas for it. I like that, just real talk. Pull up like, look, man, I respect your mind, man. I keep getting frustrated decking them because I can't get my mind like yours, man. But I like it. And so I respect it. You said I was studying to be a pastor and reading the Bible actually exposed. Yeah, that's what I tell all Christians. If they actually read through the Bible and understand what they're reading. I don't know nobody that read the Bible and is a scholar in it that's a Christian. You'd have to be insane. Remember, the book never told you to be a Christian or anything y'all say in the religion. This is what y'all say. And so again, if you read that book, that's why the book says, he who have an ear, let him hear. They ain't even heard nothing because they ain't even read the book. They don't want to hear. They heard all they need to. Somebody gonna die for them. And so you see how your selfish nature could lead you into. It's important, to be balanced in your nature, honest in your ways. Otherwise, you can be led anywhere. And so it's because somebody gonna die and save them is why that's all they care about. And so I'll say again, if you ain't aware of your selfish, unbalanced nature, you can get led anywhere. Now, religion is not what most of y'all think. Like I said, it's the most evil thing you ever gonna find in a Babylon, and that's the only way you gonna find it. Darrell Watson said Jesus will be the reason why some are bounded to this earth realm for eternity. Jesus is just a word. The reason is because people lost, and they did that on their own. But you can't put that on invisibility. You can't create a character and then say, damn, it's going to be his fault. That's how lost man is. Forget he heard this from man. To trace this all back to man. And so I'll say again, you can't lose your perspective. Start blaming things on invisibility. Meaning when all is said and done, y'all can blame God and the devil. But they not going to be nowhere around because y'all made these words up. It's the devil's fault. Where is he? Nowhere. You made that up. Sorry, you're lost. Meaning man lost in his own storyline that he made up. And that he don't see. And so kind of grasp. Now like I said, religion is the most evil thing you can think of. It's the gathering of people who worship the killing and eating of God. I'm going to say that again. It's the gathering of people who worship the killing and eating of God. Why do you think God is a lamb? You know, he was a squirrel first. Let's stay focused. I don't know for the old child. God was a squirrel first. A lot of animals God was. But this all makes sense when you understand the point. Some of y'all may have seen the movie Revenant. If you haven't, with Leonardo DiCaprio, see it. And there's a scene when, after they killed Leonardo DiCaprio's son, and they left him like buried alive, the two guys, the older gentleman and the young gay boy. The older gentleman was telling the young gay boy, they were sitting around a fire, you know, eating. They out in the wild trying to make it back to camp. They hungry, so they caught them something, they making it. He's telling them about his old man. He said, yeah, my old man was out in the bush once. And he was starving. He started getting delirious. Started calling out to anything he could for help. And crawled his way over to a mound. And in that moment, he found God. He said God was a squirrel, a fat, meaty one. And he killed that squirrel and ate him. And he found religion that day. And this is what our religion is always based on. Killing and eating. I would never lie, I can't. And so, God a lamb. Before that, he was a squirrel. Before that, he was a turtle. And before that, he was an ant. A carrot. And anything man like to eat, God was at one point in time. Because eating is murder. And this go deep. And so you go check out that video, that movie. This before Jesus was floating around in America. This is what the white man thought in the past. God was a squirrel. If you say that's stupid, y'all think God a lamb. You say, no, we don't think God a lamb. That's just like what we say. Y'all eat crackers and drink grape juice in church, pretending like y'all eating this lamb. So I don't want to play games with you. Shit, even a lamb told you can't eat bread alone. You eat meat. Baby back ribs. And so let's get into how God became a baby back rib. Let's get into how they greased Jesus, this lamb. How they greased him down and put him on a crucifix, because that's how you cook man. You can't just stick the stake through his ass and out his throat like a sheep. Man got long legs. His feet and things will burn up fast over the fire. It's the best part. In the past, a crucifix was for that. It's the proper way to cook a man over the fire, like how you cook an animal over the fire. Except with animals, they walk on all four. So you just stick the stick through their ass and come out their throat. And you sit it over the fire, spin it, and then they cook nice and even. Back in the time when man used to eat man, and still do. I mean, y'all don't see what they do with the flesh of y'all dead. That's in the supermarket. That's good meat. Like I said, man meat the best. But that's a whole nother topic. They nailed man to that cross. You get to cooking him, they grease him down. That's why they say they put all the oils on Jesus when he died. If you wondered, say, why did they grease Jesus down and wrap him in good linens? Because that's how you cook, like, that's how you cook good stuff. Y'all do that in the daytime. Like, when y'all making a good food, y'all make sure y'all wrap it down and grease it down. Because that meat can't be dry. Like, you gotta grease it and season it. Took Jesus off that cross and oiled him on down, big baby. Prepare for Passover, because this is when Jews eat lamb. Look it up. Say, hold on, I'm confused. Don't be. You worship a lamb named Jesus. I thought Jesus was a man. No, a sheep. You worship the sheep. A real sheep. Jesus killed on the Passover, right? On the feast day, right? Like I said, y'all worship a lamb. And that nigga was born in a stable. Like all cattle. If you think I'm playing, I'm the most cold-blooded scholar you won't ever find. You worship a sheep. They told you where this sheep was born at. I ain't never seen the human born in a stable. I don't care if it wasn't no room at the hotel. Who's going to the stable? It's a story about worshiping sheeps. But this go back to Cain and Abel. Abel was a shepherd. Cain killed that nigga and ate him. So I'm gonna get into all of this, but let's start where we are. Did I put too much on y'all too fast? If you're a Christian and you want to be lost, don't come here, because you're going to get truth that's going to blow your mind. And you're going to rejoice in the blood of the Lamb, because you believe in voodoo. You're going to eat you want to eat from Christ's flesh. Christ means sacrifice. X marks the spot where you put the thing you're going to kill. So, in the past, man eat man. He had a whole religion based on himself eating man. He referenced man to lambs and all kind of cattle so he can eat him and feel good. If you lost, there's a verse in the Bible. Abraham takes Isaac up to the mountain on the altar. Isaac's Abraham's son, but he's going to kill him over the altar. Now, an altar is an ancient stove. Same way y'all cook out, in nature now. Whatever y'all call that little fire pit in the past, that's called an altar. You put stones around it. Do your thing. Ancient stove. Abraham's going to kill his own son on the altar and eat him. But you know what happened? A bull came by, so he said, I'll eat you. And he killed the bull and ate that. But y'all missed that part. Y'all read that part, but you have an ear, so you can't hear. But that was the point of that part, to let you know man was eating man at this point in time. And he was about to eat his own son because he was hungry, not famished. And so Isaac was a lamb. And he was going to be one. He was going to be one. And lucky a real one walked by. And so this go deep. Now, how did God become a lamb is the question. And be clear, if you're a Christian, you worship a literal lamb, a sheep, not a man, not the creator, not a source, a sheep, and that's what you worship. And I'm going to explain why. Now, why does dog, D-O-G, spell God backwards? If you know the answer to that question, that answers the first question too, meaning how God became a lamb. If you know the answer to why dog spells God backwards, then you know why God became a lamb. And so whoever knows the answer, you can get $100 right now. You just put up your Cash App, PayPal, you'll be good to go. Now I suppose y'all don't know the answer. And so here's why God or dog spelled backwards spells God. What is a wolf? So if you have a brain, you'll say a wolf is a dog. There you go. Using your brain. What's opposite of a wolf? Sheep. Lambs. The shepherd always got to chase away the wolves because they love lambs. That's the opposite. Now, if a wolf is a dog, or another word for a wolf is dog, then another word for a lamb is dog in reverse, which is God. So in ancient times, a lamb was called God. And it was kept in the garden, in the pastures, where it grazed the grass, like a vegan. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry, vegan children. I'll be grazing the grass with the buffaloes back in the early times. This was early vegan back in the day. We pull on over to the pasture, get on all fours. We speaking man. And grazing the grass with the buffalo. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Now, where was I? If a wolf is a dog, D-O-G, a sheep is a dog or a wolf's opposite, and dog is another word for wolf, then another word for its opposite is the reverse of the word, God. Meaning God don't have nothing to do with creator, the source, none of that. God has always been the word for cattle. This is why in Islam they have the bull horns, but y'all think it's the crescent moon. But the cow jumped over the moon. So, you just don't grass. You just don't grass, big baby. And I'm trying to put y'all up on game. Cattle worship. And this is why God became a lamb, because that's what God is. Nothing else but a lamb. And so Christians worship a lamb, meaning they worship baby ribs, big baby. Like I said, Jesus was born in the stable. I'm sorry y'all thought we was talking about a human all this time in the book, because they wasn't. They was talking about this sheep. Well, they was talking about this man that was, when you're dealing with Babylons and starting your own city, so the Jews finally got their own place and their own name. And when you're dealing with city owners and, kings of cities in the past, they were referred to as shepherd kings. And their sheep was people. So it's like I explained to y'all, domesticating man. This is why if you look at ancient Egyptian pictures or Sumerian pictures, you'll see like cattle and then man. They're showing you like how man was domesticated. This is your ancient shepherd king knowledge. It's the beginnings of kingship, your Nimrod wisdom. Said, build us a city and whatnot. I'm gonna be the king over it. And y'all gonna do what the fuck I tell y'all. You're not gonna be my sheep. Like, I'm gonna work my country and do everything I tell you to do. You get it? And that's that. And so we are speaking of a man, but this man is cattle in a time where all Babylon, our city, and man being domesticated is new. So y'all know slavery. They mix breeding slaves and all that. Like I said, it's human domestication. A city ain't nothing but a domestication center for humans. DC was your first domestication. It don't stand for District of Columbia. It stands for what I said. A domestication center. When you come into the city, all you have is domesticated things. Meaning you have your animals. They not real wild animals from the wild. They animals that's living inside of a zoo. And so it's the same with man. Like, he just lived inside the city and he just go to work and shit and serve the city. He don't know what the fuck going on. He's just an animal in his zoo. He don't know nothing about the forest and being free, and it don't exist to him. He just live in the zoo like the animals that live there. And sometimes he visit the zoo and pay and look at the animals. And sometimes people that's, from jurisdictions beyond Middle Earth, they come and look at y'all and say, oh shit, they got them trained like a motherfucker. You see how them lights turn red and green and they just do whatever the fuck? This shit deep. Y'all got y'all man sheep down packed. I got them running on programming like good. So this is just the realities of life. Now, if you're a Christian and you're lost and you say, nah, we don't believe in no lamb, no sheep. Ask yourself this. Do you not believe that Jesus is your lamb and you're going to rejoice in his blood? He's your savior. Do you not eat crackers and drink grape juice and pretend like this is the flesh of Jesus and the blood of Jesus? Because Jesus is a sheep. And a religion is based on cattle, like I said. It goes back to Canaanite times. This is when men begin to eat meat, as well as other men. And so, Canaanite is the old word for cannibal. It's your Cain and Abel knowledge, starts there. Now, what you have in reality is the beast, Satan. I'll just simply put the hunger. The beast within and without must be fed. And vegetation just ain't enough. Meaning, if all we had was vegetables, you niggas would be dead. Cause this winter, and hurricanes happen and all kind of shit happen, and vegetation just wouldn't be enough. You get it? I mean, if we were all vegans, it'd be rough. So you get my point? You got this thing called the hunger within. It growls. Y'all think that's y'all stomach. But this is hell within, or the hunger, the beast. This is a real thing in life. In ancient Babylon, Baal, or El, was the Canaanite god. He was the god of hunger. Or, he was called Moloch, like in Arabic tongue, Malak al-Maut. The angels of death, Malak. Moloch, same deity, death. But death is a hunger that you have to feed. Y'all have one in y'all belly. It's going to catch up with y'all, but you get my point? And this is what religious people worship now and in the past. The Satan, the beast, and the feeding the beast. And so you get it? The lamb is worshipped because it saved me from the hunger. The Satan. Hopefully y'all following. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. Forget God and devil. You got life in the hunger. Everything that's alive got this hunger. So if I don't feed this shit, I am going to die right now. And so something gonna get sacrificed for you to feed your hunger. This is within. Now on the outer scale in the past, they had that god Moloch. And they will bring their sheep, lambs, even their own babies to feed Moloch or the hunger. You get it? Y'all are killed on large scales now for that reason. They're feeding Moloch. We live in a body. The hunger must be fed. You got cells in your body. They don't live in your gut. You got microbiota in your gut, germs. And that's how you get that hunger. Meaning they eat. When you die, they gonna be released because there ain't no food coming down into them. And they gonna eat your liver and every part of your inner body. We talking about these germs that's in your stomach called hellfire. The hunger. And so when a man dies or his body dies, this is what happens internally. The gut cells is released. They start eating, living everything they can. Then they start shitting out yellow acid. And that acid start to burn through the body. And this is where you get ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That's judgment day. And that's the hunger man feed within himself. If he don't, he'll die. And of course, like I said, that will happen. The hunger will eat him. Y'all feel it when y'all don't feed the hunger. I'm like, I gotta eat. Shit getting bad. And so in the world we live in, which is a body, as I always explain, like the belly part of this world we live in, where the hunger is. Meaning if the world we live in was not being fed, y'all will see what hell is. Meaning y'all will see zombie looking things coming to our cities and be eating y'all. Like, and if you say that sound crazy, go to nature, the lion eat the gazelle, it's like, they ain't on y'all time, they on nature time. They're gonna eat us and everything they can. But this is gonna happen when the world that we live in, which is a body, when it dies, we're gonna experience all this. Meaning the stars gonna fall from above. That's like the brain cells crashing out. Because all of this happens when a vessel dies. And so the brain cells of the stars gonna fall out the sky. And hellfire gonna be released. And that's a literal deity. Y'all know what that's hunger. And so this is what they was feeding in the past. If you say, man, why would people feed their babies? Who dumb enough to worship a religion like that? Y'all worship that shit now. And so all the youngsters that's dying, and you did it in the rap business, this is all sacrifices, situations being set up so y'all sacrifice y'all own self. Because just killing shit is hard. It's easier to just set traps because it's how hunting work. Meaning we being hunted. But traps is being set. Y'all fall into these traps, and however many of y'all get sacrificed too, then the hunger get fed. You get my point? And so that's what's being worshipped, meaning man worship the Satan or the beast, like I said. This is the hunger. And the lamb or whatever is being sacrificed for this hunger, of course, when you're dealing with religion, so the lamb is being represented, meaning a literal lamb chops, is being presented as the sacrifice to the God, which is hunger. You get it? And so, Christians believe that the lamb gonna die for them. Now, there's no lamb that's gonna die for them, but do you get my point? They sheeps of the hunger. This is why they refer to themselves as sheeps of the Lord. Not God, sheeps of the Lord. And they refer to what they call God as their own sheep that's gonna die for them. But they don't know what they speak. That's why the book say forgive them, because they don't know what they say. And so this goes back to Abel and Cain. meaning Abel was a shepherd, and he gave his tithes to the Lord, which is the hunger, and the Lord loved it. Baby back ribs, because Abel was a shepherd, and Cain brought his tithes to the Lord being the hunger. And Cain had vegetables, and don't nobody in life give a fuck about no vegetables. You talking your hunger, that part. So the Lord rejected Cain's, because who cares about vegetables in comparison to baby back ribs? Cain got envious. Said, I sure could go for some baby back ribs. Then he killed Abel, the king of the shepherds, the king of the sheep. And he ate the shit out of Abel. And he ate his sheep too. And this was the beginning of when men began to eat men. And Cain is the father of the Canaanites. And the Canaanites are cannibals, meaning they eat men. And the religion started with them. Their God is El. Now remember, Abel is the shepherd. If you take the A and the B and switch it around, you get Baal instead of Abel. And so Abel becomes the god of the Canaanite people. They kill sheep like Cain did. It all started with Cain. He's the father of murder. He's the first one to murder an animal and a man and eat. First hunter. From then, man eat meat, whether it be man meat or animal meat. And you ain't gonna read nowhere in the Bible before that where man was eating meat, unless you go back before Adam. You get it? You got Adam and Eve in the garden. They're keeping up with the garden, and then they got kicked out. And it don't say nowhere that man ate meat. And then when they get to Abel was a shepherd, y'all don't understand where all this come from. So y'all don't see through it. Abel is representing, he's like the god of sheep. He's like the sheep god. And Cain killed Abel. Again, the Canaanite people are meat-eating cannibals. And they brought their babies and all other kinds of meat to their god Moloch and sacrificed it before the altar and ate with the priest of the city, because that was the customs of the time. That's how the priests made they just do. We ain't talking about the time where they dealing with money. We're talking about the time where everybody got their resources. So you bring 10% of your resources to the priesthood, which is like the orders under the king over the city. And that's how they earn their revenue, just like in the daytime. The government earn their money by taking y'all shit. It's called taxes. Tithes in the past. And so, like I said, the Jewish people, the Jews, they finally got themselves a place in the Bible. They named themselves. They have this God that everybody in the world worships called the hunger. That part. Now, your Jewish leaders, and of course all the Jewish people, are the citizens, are the sheeps of these kings. And so they need one sheep amongst the flock to get sacrificed, because now men are shepherds over other men, not just sheep. Stepping the game up. That's what the Nimrod story was about. Men were shepherd over animals at one point in time. Then the man said, I'm going to be shepherd over men. So Nimrod's the mighty hunter of the Lord. See, I'm up the ante. A shepherd is one who keeps sheep. He got 30, 40 sheep. They serve him. He they master. He they rabbi. That's where rabbi come from. It's a shepherd thing, a sheep thing. You get it? At some point in time, man realized I can do this with men. You have indigenous men in the forest. They're like animals. I can conquer their area of the forest, chop down the trees, build myself up a city, and then make them the citizens. Domesticating them with whatever other slaves I have, and the litter from that will learn my language and do whatever the hell I tell them. And they my sheep, my flock. And the next city ruler, he got the same orders. And he give them their language. And now this city, I can't come to his city and steal his sheep because they don't speak the language I got. And vice versa. And now I rule over my city as the shepherd king over all these people who are like sheep. And so this is your Jews in their time. This is the part of the Bible when Jesus is getting sacrificed. And so they need one amongst themselves to be a sacrificial lamb that they kill and eat and serve to Moloch or Baal. Good old Abel. Abel loved sheep. He was the shepherd king. Or Baal. Either or. And so do you guys grasp? Y'all worship a man that was killed to represent a lamb or a sheep. But what y'all worship in the religion is truly just a sheep. A real sheep. So if you read through the book, you'll see like they're preparing Jesus like food. They're killing him for the Passover, which is a feast day. Why are you killing this man on dinner time day? That part, because you're not supposed to take it as it's a man. But we're talking about cannibals. City owners, they view these men as their flock, their cattle. Man is still eating in the daytime, like I said. Y'all don't know where y'all dead. When they cut y'all dead loved ones open like they do an animal before they cook it. Again, your loved one dead. So then they just cut your loved one open in the same fashion they do when they cutting and cleaning an animal. And take all the guts and shit out. What they do with the meat. If you ever been to a funeral, I'm sure you got a brain to say that ain't really look like my loved one. That shit look like skin on anything. Again, what they do with the meat of your loved one. What did they do with the meat? There's good breast meat, thigh meat. Meat is meat once you remove the skin, whether animal or man. So what did they do with the meat? It's in the goddamn supermarket. Y'all think they hunting animals every day like that to fill up y'all supermarkets with meat? Gotta have a brain. People die every day. There's your meat. That part, hamburger meat. All kind of meat. And so, when you go to the supermarket, you don't know what you're eating. Horse meat, you don't know. Meat is meat. That part. Once the skin's off it, you just have to have a really good tongue and perspective. Like a nigga that drink wine and be like, nice legs. You just have to be that. Other than that, you ain't gonna know. I mean, you can tell the difference between chicken meat, pork meat, and beef. But if we just talking about beef, you wouldn't know the difference between deer meat and a cow's. Cow steak and deer steak, what's the difference? Because the supermarket don't discern that to y'all. That part, you just say prime beef, nigga. And so, do you get my point? A Babylon or a city is the evilest thing y'all can kind of grasp. That's why I be telling y'all at some point, you got to leave your city. But first, or most and foremost, it got to be by mind. Y'all live in domestication centers where y'all are the domesticated thing, and y'all are eating and sacrifice to Moloch still today. Gotta grasp that. Y'all cemeteries ain't nothing but sacrifice sites. It's what they used to do in the past when they sacrifice. They used to bring them to the MLK mound. That's the mound of Moloch, where you sacrifice your dead. It was a big dirt mound. And they would take a stone and place it over the bones of the dead loved one or whoever they killed. Of course, the meat was fried and devoured, because who's wasting food? But the bones was left for Moloch or for the hunger, and a stone was placed over it. And writings might have been subscribed in the dirt around the area. And then, of course, this got more advanced, where y'all get a whole stone set in the dirt over y'all bones, because ain't no goddamn meat on them. They'll clean y'all out. Take that heart, artichoke heart, that's a whole man's heart, but the supermarket packaged it said artichoke heart. Who cares? This is business. We need to eat. Do the same thing in China right now. If you go to their little markets that's outside, killing all kind of animals right in front of your face, they don't give a fuck, man. Nigga, you want squid? Like that. Shit, nigga, you want a whole human baby? They would do it, but they go to jail. But you get it? The China man lost all that money for real. Meaning, if it was the law that you killed, man, Chinese nigga would be right outside in the China market chopping up babies and shit. Like, I got baby arm, good meat on that. Oh, man. Take that home, shake that down, that good meat on that. $50. Have it half. 2 arm, 40. Be a bargain, my nigga. Get 2 baby arms for $90, $50 for the first, $10 off the second. But this is Babylon. This your future. Babylon, the place where you worship a lamb. You have the whole world walking around talking about, I worship Jesus. He's my lamb. I'm going to rejoice in the blood of the lamb. You sound sick. What is wrong with your ears? Oh, program. This was programmed into your brain. Meaning you heard this shit 50,000 times. You just repeated. There's no real thought of it. You never thought about it. You don't care to think about it. You have your buddies in the church, and that's why you there. And so man gonna lead man to below. Meaning, y'all don't worship God. Y'all worship the beast. And it is through the lamb, or whatever sacrifice thing is being fed to the hunger, whether you're talking about the belly, or like I said, in the outer life, whatever's being fed to the hunger, so it's put on high pedestal. You understand? This is why y'all pray over y'all food. Because God is prey. The sheep. Outside of that, the creator, the source of life, don't have no word named God to represent it. God was always the name of the sheep. That's why God's a lamb. And in Islam, a cattle or a bull, that's what the crescent moon is, bull horns. And that's what the sound is that they make in Islam. Bull. All bullshit. Man worshiped cattle because that's what he liked to eat. The man started eating meat. He made a whole celebration about it. If you a Jew, you celebrate the Passover. And this is when y'all eat lamb. Tell a story about this one lamb named Jesus that was killed on the cross, greased down with oils, and ate. And like I said before that, God was a squirrel. Man sick, I don't know what to tell you. If y'all have any questions, please ask. Now, of course, I always tell you guys, YHWH, that's how you pronounce YHWH. This is who Jesus' character is mimicking. This is who this lamb is a blasphemy of. So in life you have YHWH. This is your yoke. The you. YH? Yeah. WH? Woo. That's how you pronounce YHWH. You. And it's a divine teachings about the self. You know, we all start as that yolky substance called seminal fluid. That's what we call it. In the past, they called it many different things. Serpents, whatever. You know, sperm cells, it's like little snakes. YHWH, all seminal fluid. You know, that yolky, Holy Ghost looking substance. This is the source of life or the spirit of life. Meaning every living person, whether man or woman that you see, they started then. Their father ejaculated them out. Now, your father had sperm cells in his balls before he impregnated your mother. And he had them down there for quite some time. They recycle over and over. This is the fallen angels. Sperm cells in his balls. Man ejaculates, seminal fluid scoops up all these dead entities, raise them from the dead. So the seminal fluid or the yolk is viewed as God or the source of life coming from the Father. This is why in Christianity they say like the only way to the Father is through me. You get it? That substance, which is coming from the Father, is sacrificed to the egg, the substance. The sperm cells, they become what they always are, the fallen below. The egg cell itself becomes the vessel, the clay, the menses, and the substance becomes the ether or spirit inside the body. The orgasm, the pleasure. That's why Jesus always say, come in my yoke, it feels good here in heaven. That white substance is the physical representation of God. Of course, God being on the other side of orgasm. Before y'all have the feeling of nirvana and release out atmosphere from heaven. Meaning y'all bring heaven in the physical life. Y'all don't go to heaven when y'all orgasm. Y'all do like Prometheus and steal fire from it. White snow, hail, fire. And that substance right there can make a whole baby. Semen is awareness. Consciousness. Menses substance, this is unconsciousness. If the menses substance is conceived, it will evolve into a physical vessel. And the consciousness, or the awareness, which is the seminal fluid, it will evolve into an awareness. 5 senses, you know. Sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. And so that divine substance is what's supposed to be worshipped. That divine substance being the spirit or the ether within all men. When I say men, we speak in mankind. Women are born from the ether as well. Meaning my daughter came out my balls as substance. No different than my son. So you get my point? Manifested in the physical life. Now she's the ether trapped inside the egg cell, and she have her primordial germ cells below. Her version of sperm cells, which evolve into the egg. But do you get my point? The real teachings of God are YHWH. It's that. And it goes deeper than that, but I'm just giving y'all a quick breakdown. Now, you a Christian, you believe in the Lamb. That part. Exploiting YHWH, which is the Lord of Hosts, because there's millions and billions of sperm cells inside the substance. The substance being the King of Kings over them, who raised them from the dead. That's the Dejed in Egypt. D-J-E-D. And J's are silent, so they're dead. It's a deep thing, right? Rocks. I'm the $1 Million Scholar, meaning any text you read or like. Ancient text, ancient Sumerian, the Owaski, any text. if you want the true meaning. Outside of that, if you're a Christian, try and grasp. You worship killing and eating lambs. And if this was the past, you would have been worshipping a squirrel. In Norse mythology, Google, who is the squirrel god in Norse mythology? So you can grasp when I tell you anything I say, it can be referenced back to scholarship. So before God was a lamb, he was a squirrel. It's a deep thing, try and grasp. Now, I'll be departing. Thank you for the give backs. I appreciate you guys. Anyone else want to give back, you can click the title. Our links are there. If you have any questions, ask. I may come back later and go more in depth on what the keys to wisdom are. Like I said in the beginnings of the video, it's not silence. It's about silent mind. You get where you get when you get there. I mean, everybody's on their own path of growth. Everybody grows when they do. So, some things I say may click to you later, whatever the case may be. The main thing is life is a balance when you're dealing with nature. This has nothing to do with give and receive, but just in life, meaning beyond that. When you're dealing with people, be balanced, be kind, be fair in your way. Letting people disrespect you when you take the higher road is not a balance of fair. It's going to create an imbalance where they think they can just do stupid shit they want. So this is why strength is important. I'm not telling you to attack every dumb thing, but balance. You have to find that balance. Grasp. Like I said, environments is the most important thing, but some of y'all are not privy to leave the environment you in. And if you live in a certain environment and it ain't an honorable environment or balanced environment, you'll become the prey in it if you trying to like, you get. So that's why I always tell y'all environments is important in your growth. Now if you ain't privy to leave your environment, so you can always be the example you want your environment to be. Meaning if you want to live in a fair, balanced environment, you may want to start carrying it that way. And making it clear to those that you deal with, listen, we got to start living a kind of balance. Because at the end of the day, this dog-eat-dog world shit ain't benefiting nobody. Everybody just getting ate when it all boils down to it. Mind you, we could have all been sharing all this time living good. Motherfuckers is living with more than they need. And this nigga got less than what he need. And we all just eating each other. Not even paying attention. Like we could just been sharing all this time before we all get ate up. Try to be fair and balanced. I know a lot of y'all get lost when I say that. Y'all see the tear and all of that. You know, things of my past. And y'all kind of bring it current. You think like, I don't know what you think. Of a balanced, fair life. Meaning, I'm like a monk in real life. So I live a certain kind of way. I don't really deal. Like I said, I live like a monk. I'm just black. I might not be as shallow down as a monk. You know, he's a part of a system and a religion, but I live like a monk. I wake up, I do what I call a prayer. Thanking the unconscious for letting me out of it. That's death. So a lot of y'all need to get on that. When you wake up every day, you've been released from hell. Been released from unconsciousness. You could have been kept there. That would have been called death. You would have been somebody that died in your sleep. And every night when you fall into the abyss and lose yourself, just think, if you never woke up, you'd be lost because you didn't even know you fell asleep. You don't know what time it is. You forgot about your kids. You don't have no memory of nothing. And so when you in that state and you don't wake up, you gone. So I wake up, I think, life. Then I set the vibration or the tone of my day. So you got word and thought. If you want your day to be peaceful and all your encounters to be peaceful, so like I say, peace and wisdom a lot. You get my point? Start to greet in a certain word that you want to set the vibration of your day and your encounters. It could be happy. You just say happy, out loud maybe 3, 4 times in the morning, afternoon, and at night. Setting the tone of, the self. And keep repeating that to the self, all this repetition. You won't realize it, but your nature will be there. You get my point? When I first started, I was like more aggressive and rough. But after saying peace and wisdom, you get it? You get older. It just blends in. Same with the thought. Morning, noon, and at night. You want to find a specific thought that you want your state of being to be in. You want to be happy? Find a happy thought that always make you laugh and feel happy. I don't care if it's a movie, whatever. Richard Pryor's thing from back in the day. Keep that thought with you. That thought's gonna be your memory. You remembering. I have to stay in a good spirit. And get it? At some point, your mind just gonna kick in a repetition, and you're gonna just think these things at that certain time. Same way you wake up for work every day and don't need an alarm clock anymore. Body just on the flow. But it starts with the spoken word and the thought. You have to remember. And once you repetitiously do it so much, then you create a force field around yourself. And that's going to be the emotional state you're going to find yourself in all the time. That's what that thought going to represent. And you're going to remember to think it in the morning, afternoon, and night. So if you're getting a little aggravated throughout your day, you always know I got these moments in the day where the point always pops back up in my mind, and that it takes me out of whatever I got lost in. So let's say you say, man, I want my days to be peaceful and happy. And so you wake up in the morning and you say, peaceful and happiness, peaceful and happiness. And then at lunchtime, you set your alarm and say, oh, let me say my peacefuls and happinesses, my peacefuls and happinesses. And before you go to sleep, you do the same. After about a month or two, it's just going to happen naturally for you. The mouth just going to blurt it out whenever you feel any kind of pressure. You get it? You're going to do it on those times without even having to think about it. Meaning morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And then you're going to see it start to be the vibration or the soundtrack of your life. Like everything will be however that word that you utter. Y'all names is the same. These is things y'all repeat a lot, y'all names. So y'all see yourselves as your name. If your name is death and then you die, like pop smoke, then you get popped and smoked and shit. You understand? So we gotta teach the young these things. X-tentation. He had 3X'd himself out 3 times. And clapped him out one time. There you get it? Drake ain't gonna die, my nigga, because his name. Jim Jones ain't gonna die, man. No, they not gonna die. Ain't in their name. Malcolm X. So you get my point? MLK, Moloch. That's what the Moloch sites have engraved in them. MLK. You can look this up on Google or wherever. The name is important. I always say peace and wisdom. You'll never see I have no problems. You get it? I'm always stable. Let's say another teacher been teaching the last 5 years and he's been in this spot, that spot. He's been moving around a lot. It's been a little unstable for him. But he handling his handle. My God, been stable. You get what? Everything peaceful. You're gonna get there. Y'all think flip-flopping all around, that ain't stability. You all fucking crazy in here. Go here, I wanna go there, I wanna go there. And then the life become that. Next thing you know, you like moving all around and shit and things. You wanna get to a place where you stable. You get my point? And that, you can do more for yourself. Or you can just be good, if anything. Thank you, Sir Jones, and everyone else. There you go, words are the GPS for the reality. You got control of how you want your life to be. Like I said, we all get wrapped into our daily circle. And usually we fall into it. But you want to get to a place where you create your own circle. This being the daily thing, the things that you do daily throughout your day. Some of y'all wake up and go to work every day. That's not what you chose. You chose the job you go. You choose to go get you a cup of coffee and a sandwich before you go every day like clockwork. But this is a circle you fell into because of your need or whatever the case may be. It's not a circle you created for yourself where you like, I'm waking up, eat me some breakfast. I don't have to rush it. I'm gonna eat me some breakfast, sit a minute, run me a hot bath and soak. Then I'm gonna do my half an hour workout. Then I'm gonna go outside like that. You ain't got control of your day where you like shape and form my day perfectly how I want, and then I get to live out that repetition instead of having to go down and get a job I don't want and live out that repetition. That's what I fell into. So you want to get to a place where you start to create, put the people inside the bubble, make everything like how you want it to be perfect for you until you have a want for something else. So kind of grass life is simple when you remove all the society perspectives from your mind. Like how you think people want you to be and this and that. And what you need to have and what you don't. You get to a place where, become content with self. And willing to build the self up from that moment of acceptance wherever you are. Meaning you have to accept yourself. I'm not saying your flaws and your bad natures. That got to be fixed. But you can accept, like, okay, I have flaws, and today is the day that I'm going to start working on all of them, one at a time. I'm working on this one first. And then that being the goal, you slowly work on that, and then you get to the next. But you have to become comfortable with yourself. You can ask an overweight person that got themselves perfectly in shape. It started, got to a place where they stopped defending their fatness, being ashamed of it, always thinking what somebody thinking about them. When they got to a place where they said, listen, man, I'm fat and I let myself go a little bit, but whatever. Today to day, I'm going to take my little steps and get, where I need to get. And about 6 months after that, keeping that mindset, I ain't paying nobody no mind. Everybody fucked up in their own way. I'm about to sit here and dwell on because I'm overweight. This nigga on heroin. You get it? This motherfucker on this. It's way bigger problems than what I got. And so let me take my steps because it really ain't that deep. I mean, you got people kicking heroin. If you don't like your weight, come on now. Your shit is way easier to overcome. And that go down the line to everybody. You get it? Let me be making things more than they need to be. But if everybody was supportive, then it would be easier. Meaning if you was overweight and you got that support, like, oh man, whenever you get ready to chop that shit down, I run every day. I don't mind if you come with me. I need the company anyway. Shit, you ain't even gotta run. You can just walk. Just talk to me while I'm running. You gotta learn to you get it? People tease y'all and stuff. That ain't what they mean. They just trying to piss you off in the moment. You get it? That's why I say you can't bring shit onto yourself. Most time when people saying ugly shit to you, it ain't what they mean or even care about. You just getting on their fucking nerves in the moment. It ain't that deep. But it become a deep wound. You already beating yourself up about some shit and somebody bring it up. Gotta get to a place where like everything is all love. It's only hate when I take it there. Like, I take offense and make it something more. If I know within myself they words bothering me because I'm already cut on that. This is where self-controlling things come in, and this is all good. Whatever somebody say, so now you got your compass back working. If you say something to me, if you say you got an ego, Solace, at one point that was bothering you, that's when I knew you got an ego, nigga. Otherwise, why you getting mad and why you defending that you don't have one? Like that. deny to simmer myself down. I put up a post and said, yeah, I do have an ego, but now I like how y'all see it. I have an ego and I've completely lost perspective, nigga. You was selling drugs and that work in life wasn't serving you right after that, and you blessed and you lucky that you have a higher mind that serve you. You get it? And so I'll be losing my sight in that. So, but that's your compass. Meaning if something is said to you and it bother you, so now you know, okay, that's my compass letting me know I gotta work on that. Otherwise, every time I hear that shit, I'm gonna get mad and I cannot live like that. You slowly work on self like that. You gotta start to be aware though. And in the company of people that's beyond where you are, in mind. Meaning if you was around me, then I could tell you, like, you just mad right now, you feel me? You're speaking from your emotional state. Put that shit aside and then see how you see it. And if it's the same, then it's the same. But usually it ain't. Meaning when we put our emotions to the side, then it don't be all that shit. So just wait a day. You mad right now. Give yourself a day every time you get mad. And if you still on the same flow after a day, do you. But don't just jump out the window because whatever emotion you in. Kind of get a control. You can go into the emotion, but you don't have to act on it. You can get mad, but you ain't got to act on that anger now. Wait a little while. See if you still mad. So you get it? Y'all kind of need that room, and y'all getting room to like pop off for anything. So like I go 0 to 100, I go up. Y'all in that flow where y'all have this thing like I gotta go crazy and show I ain't no joking. That shit gonna have you in jail and in the pond box. You gonna be a whole flower pot. You gonna put flowers on top of your shit. You're gonna be a flower pot, meaning some shit that's under dirt with flowers on top. And so it's a deep thing, try and grasp. Now I'ma depart. Be well. Salam, shalom.